Hey Sagittarius, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your 4th week of February pick a card reading. Although if the title resonates with you at any time, the timeline is fluid, so it is probably going to have something there for you. There's a reason you are drawn to that title. And if nothing does, that's natural too, because I read this is general, so there's more than one person. And if your particular situation doesn't feel like it's represented, you can go ahead and check out my Etsy page and get an email reading with me that'll be just about you and your situation. You can choose one that I have, or you can build your own based on the decks that I have available. So if at any time during the reading you do hear something that is resonating, that feels like it's going to help you, that's of service to you, hit the like button and let me know. And if you know someone that could use the information to help them on their path, will you please share my page with them, share my channel with them, and that way you help them and you help me grow. And so I have readings that come out every week plus a monthly, and if you subscribe you can keep up with the story as it unfolds. And then comment below. This deck I'm using, this Earth Wisdom Oracle, it has a botanical and a stone that goes with each energy, and so if you want to ask me in the comments what it is, I'll grab the guidebook and flip and try to find out what that is for you if you'd like to know. This week, this particular one, I think it's going to be relevant because you have this root chakra, and that is, we have the Page of Pentacles as your monthly, root chakra as your weekly, and these are really very physical things. So like an essential the botanical and the stone may actually be more relevant than in some of the more cerebral readings. These cards came out in your annual and your monthly, and they're linked below if you want to see me shuffle on camera and talk more about them specifically when they came out and what they mean together. This week I'm using the Earth Wisdom Oracle and the John Bauer Tarot. I have stack 1, stack 2, stack 3. They're timestamped below so we can get right to it. Sagittarius, stack 1 is the Devil. Put that away. King of Cups, Prosperity. So interesting, we have Prosperity coming out with the root chakra card because there is a little bit of a reminder here and an urging not to succumb to poverty consciousness, to a scarcity mindset. And that when the root chakra is out of balance, there's a tendency to experience an insecurity that induces you towards hoarding type behaviors, or to hold on and to be a little bit subjugated by materialism and those kinds of physical pursuits of security through financial means. And so the King of Cups in this deck is going to be, he's a teacher in a sense, and so I'm feeling like they want to help you overcome and to rebalance this chakra by connecting with others and by accessing this King of Cups aspect of yourself and seeing things through this lens, which would be getting more in touch with your emotions through your connections with others. And in this case, it's going to be with more vulnerable type energy. I feel like we have this Page of Pentacles here as a reminder of childlike energy, of people that are not as far along in the process in you. And so there's a sense of how can you give of yourself, if not materially, which you may not be able to at this point, but in order to keep the flow of prosperity and wealth going, because as soon as you hold on, it becomes stagnant and it can't do anything, it can't grow, and it loses its power. How can you keep that flow moving if you aren't in a financial position to give? And it is calling on you to teach someone something, to take someone under your wing and show them the way. And in that way, you do keep energy flowing, and you do experience giving in a way that does feel safe and secure, and that can help you climb out, like it's a little rope ladder, out of that scarcity mindset and that poverty consciousness. Stack 2 is the Hierophant, Queen of Swords, and Rest. So the Hierophant in this sense, I feel like it's showing up as nature as a teacher, natural law being the construct, the set of rules that you have to go by, the box with which you're operating is, instead of a box, it's more like the ecosystem, the globe that is the earth that you live on. And so with rest, I'm feeling, okay, so it is it's calling you towards grounding practices. So if you were to Google root chakra healing or first chakra healing, there's going to be a lot of stuff that it's going to remind you of or to offer as suggestions. And I feel like here it's going to be the most physical and the most practical, like touching dirt, like walking outside with your bare feet type things, like aromatherapy, like massage, like certain, like very specific yoga poses that are for grounding and for balancing the chakra. And this Queen of Swords does have a role to play here too. She's here talking about your sensibilities and to where in this time out, it's not just simply physical. It's asking you to research and access and to engage in the most physical ways of balancing the chakra, but also to balance that with this Queen of Swords, which is going to be wisdom and wit and the ability to learn from the experience. And so once again, we have this childlike energy of this page. And so there's a sense of needing to use that analytical side to research sources of childhood insecurity. Like, what is it that turned this root chakra upside down to begin with? What was it that happened early on? It's like, it's one thing to, I feel like on one hand, the advice on the physical level is going to help stabilize you in the moment, but in order to keep it stable, in order to keep it from happening, you do have to go back to the root of the problem, root chakra. Find out what are those childhood sources of insecurity and instability that led you to have this instability in your foundation, in your home, your life. It's going to be connection to the earth, connection to your security in your physical body, and to those things that you consider your foundation. What was unstable about your foundation early on? And you can work to heal those things and to heal the cracks in those foundation. Meanwhile, in the present, do grounding practices like feet on the earth, aromatherapy, yoga, and those specific things in the ways that rest your body, that if you keep moving forward and pressing forward, and if you try to do this kind of mental work without the physical aspect of it, it's going to keep you in imbalance and you could burn out. All right, Sac 3, 6 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, inspiration. So the 6 of Pentacles is like it's like my even Steven card. It's like in Seinfeld, that one episode where he was even Steven, and he just kind of like was cool about things coming and going from his life because he just, I don't know, I have this way of always getting even. He takes a $20 bill, wads it up and throws it out the window. He's like, I can do that because I don't know, somehow I'm going to get even because I have this even Steven aspect to it. And of course the whole episode unfolds, and by the end of it I think he does get it back if I recall. But so there's snow here, and there's this kind of winter-like aspect. And so there's a guidance here towards remembering, having faith that spring will come, and that there is, I mean, it's winter outside, it sucks out there right now, and so this is really resonating as this time of frozenness and of stasis and of just wanting to hold tight, to not want to unclench your arms from your side because there's warmth. It's like holding this warmth towards your body and not wanting to let your limbs go wide because then you get a draft and then you don't hold that warmth close to your body. So there is a sense to where, how can you inspire yourself to move forward and to motivate yourself to planting new seeds, because that's what this whole energy has been about. This Page of Pentacles is about planting new seeds. But in order to be inspired to do so, there has to be a trust in the thought, and trust that you can let go of that clenching in the same way that Jerry Seinfeld was able to wad up a $20 bill and throw it out the window. Don't do that, but how can you unclench? How can you untighten? How can you release that tight hold on things in trust that equilibrium will be restored? How can you let go of something in total faith that it will be returned to you? How can you tap back into the cyclic nature? Because of the seasons here, there is a reminder that there's a cyclic nature to things. And when you let something go, you're not throwing it out like into space where it's going to infinitely go in the direction that you threw it, but it's going to get caught in the cycle, and that means that it's going to return. Anything you put into the system gets returned because it's a cyclic system. And how can you have total faith and trust in that system to where you can let the things go because you know they're coming back to you? All right, Sagittarius, I'll talk to you in a week. Thank you.